Hello and welcome back to our holiday special, and I remixed her name and it ended up being Felix, so let's just go with that. I step off the boat and onto Cat Island. I'm full of anticipation about what my first day will bring. 8 hours, 1 journal, and a wild cat chase later. So apparently this first day brings physical assault and the biggest trauma of my life. Oh, is it awake? Human, we need to talk to you. Save it, I know how this goes, fluffy bum. Blah blah catification, blah blah evasive answers, blah blah antidote, and basically you need my help. Did I miss anything? No, not really. Wow, you really did read that journal from front to back, didn't you? Front to back. So are you gonna help us or not? We're gonna help the kitties! Fine, I'll help, whatever. See you after my day job. And here goes our 40-minute intro, and it ends up being a 2-minute intro. Hooray! I return to the camp feeling a bit less grumpy, and I'm just about to enter the lab to begin my legitimate work when the catalog beeps. A message without any contact information. Snitches get stitches. What the hell? Someone needs to take that phone away from Mason Marigold. The rest of the day is uneventful, just working in the lab with Professor. I cannot wait to start unpicking this mystery. I suppose the cats are my starting point. They must know more than they're letting on or intend to let on to the heart of each of them to see what secrets they may hold. I goofed that sentence, but essentially romance cats to get to know stuff better. I want to check one thing. Okay, we still have Research 7. Change of plan. We're gonna romance Kibbles to full, just to see how happy Kibbles gets. And we're gonna get ourselves fired. Because I haven't seen that yet. And I'm like 50-50 on whether or not getting me fired will also get me shot. I think I'm like 70% sure that it would. Kibbles. I'm out in the forest looking for some shade and place where I won't be disturbed. I need to be relaxed when I finally read the precious contents of the envelope I'm carrying. It feels like I've waited an age for this moment. Eventually I find a clearing with a moss-covered tree stump that looks comfortable enough. I have a quick check around to satisfy myself that I'm alone before I take a seat and slowly unpeel the flap of the brown paper and pull out my issue of Kanashi Boy. It's such a treat to get some quiet manga reading time to myself. I'm just starting to get into it when I hear a rustling sound coming from the nearby bushes. It's not the sort of sound the wind makes when it ruffles the leaves. It's more deliberate than that. I look over towards the bush and the noise stops abruptly. Almost as soon as I resume reading, it starts again. I try to ignore it and continue with my comic, but it's very intrusive. I feel like I'm being watched. Who's there? The rustling gets louder. Hello? I inch my way towards the source of the sound, nervously holding my breath. I reach out my arm to pull aside the branches when something bursts out of the bush and knocks me sideways. Kibbles! What on earth are you doing? Were you spying on me? He picks himself up from the ground, desperately trying to style it out. Oh, you're here? I hadn't noticed. I was just looking for something. In a bush. Yeah, I left my... Kibbles looks around frantically for something. He locks eyes on an unremarkable looking flat pebble and picks it up trumpetly. My pebble! I left my pebble in this bush. Found it now. Good. I hate to think that what would happen if you lost that. Yeah. Anyway, what are you doing? Reading? I hold up the comic book, emphasizing the obvious. Yeah, I thought so. You're very observant, Kibbles. So, is that Kanashi Boy? What? I'm taken aback. Yes, actually it is. Do you know it? And more to the point, how do you know it? Yeah, looks like issue 8. That's right. Now I'm impressed as well as amazed. Kibbles, how on earth do you know? Questions are floating in my brain, but I know I need to play this cool. I don't want him shutting me out. That's an old issue. Looks like he has no intention of answering my questions, so I try a different tactic. I'm a little behind, so I brought a couple of back issues with me to bring me up to date. So, which version are you reading? Version? I'm not sure. It's probably the inferior American translation. You really have to get the original Japanese or the European versions to get all the nuance. Oh? It's impossible to truly understand the depth of Fumioji's and Hara's relationship in the version you got. You're a proper fan then? You could say that, I guess. I love to pick your brain sometime. What do you want to know? Does the original version explain how they are able to enter the third chamber together when Chisato gets turned into a hog? Oh yeah, that's because she tried to pass through the gate without Isawa's approval. Oh right, that would make sense. That bit was cut out for some reason. The American version they're selling these days is plebeian trash. Well, I like it. Any serious Kanashi boy fan would track down the European translation. I'm not sure, but I don't think I'll be able to get those delivered here. I guess I'll have to make do with the trash version. I would rather read something else than read that inferior rag. Fair enough, but I'm still enjoying this. I start to get back to reading my trash, but Kibbles suddenly springs forward, grabs the comic from out of my hands and runs off into the undergrowth. Hey, Kibbles, bring that back! But he's gone. I wait for a while, not quite believing what he just did. After a few minutes, I lose hope that he'll return and start packing away my things to get back to camp. Just as I start walking away, Kibbles comes crashing back through the bush. Oh, there you are! What was that all about? I got you something. That's when I notice he's holding a copy of Kanashi Boy issue 8, but it's not my copy. This one's in a pristine plastic cover. It looks new. Heh, this is my copy. The European translation? Original Japanese, actually. Wow, but how do you understand it? Don't tell me you speak Japanese. Look, I made my own translation. There are pieces of paper tucked in between the pages with scrawled writing on them. How did you manage that? One of the ones before you, she helped me translate it. One of the ones before me? What does that mean? Previous assistant? Want to read this or not? I'm far more interested in what you just said. You said helps. Kibbles is looking at the cover of Kanashi Boy, but I sense he's pretending to be preoccupied. He's clearly said more than he intended to, and now he's distracting himself from it. That would suggest they're still here? Where does the circle end? Huh? I'm annoyed that he's obviously trying to change the subject. It's a simple question, human. I'm worried that if I push him too far, he'll disappear into the bushes, so I decide to play along for now. Where does the circle end? He's watching me intently, and I get the feeling this is some kind of test. The circle ends where it began, probably. Kibble looks delighted. Oh, cool, you read it! Read what? Sakura. I'm sorry, I don't know that one. But you gave the right answer. I have no idea what we're talking about now. Sakura by Heishi Getsuki. You haven't read it? Afraid not? Is it good? Only the best, and it's genre, which is Goro, naturally. And Goro means gore, of course. Of course. I wasn't aware that gore was a whole genre. I realized that I'm a bit out of my depth here. I can lend it to you. I have a copy here. Kibbles looks like he's about to dive back into the bushes. Whoa, hang on a minute. That sounds really interesting, but I'm in the middle of Kanashi Boy. So, ditch that and start this. You won't regret it. Okay, Kibbles, I'll read your comic. Well, normally I would finish the series I'm on before starting another, but you got me very interested in Sakura, I must say. Wait, right here. And he's gone before I can open my mouth. I'm starting to get used to this routine, so I wait patiently. He's back within seconds. That was quick. Where do you keep this stuff? I could tell you, but then you'll have to kill me? Whoa, slow down. It's a bit too soon to be finishing each other's sentences. JJ? Jesse James. McMurphy told me all about him. Fastest draw in the Wild West. And suddenly he's leaping around with pretending pole guns pew-pewing until he's been shot and knocks out an elaborate staggerfall death scenario. Then he's back up on his feet in a heartbeat, pointing at the comic he's placed in my hands. Yeah, it's universally agreed that it's the grossest manga out there. Kibbles grins as though that's a positive thing. I look at the glossy black cover and feel my interest peak. This doesn't look like the sort of thing I usually pick up in a comic shop, but I'm certainly intrigued. Great! You gotta love that bit where Kira's mum stabs out her own eyes because... Kibbles. Spoilers. Oh, who cares about spoilers? It feels totally different when you see it with the artwork. I don't want you to tell me any part of the story, Kibbles. It doesn't matter if it feels different. Okay, but just remember one thing. Kibbles, if this is a spoiler, I'll be very upset. The circle ends back where it began. Kibbles! I can't tell if that was an actual spoiler, but I still feel indignant. He holds his paws up defensively. What? You said it yourself! That was a lucky guess. What does it mean anyway? It's the secret password for Sakaru fans to help identify each other. The mangaka made it up himself. Like the Mason's secret handshake? Yeah, probably. You don't know what the Masons are, do you, Kibbles? Sounds like a boy band or something? Close enough. Should we make our own secret handshake? You know, in case someone else tries to infiltrate our manga club? Good idea, Kibs. Totally need protection against that in an island of cats and like 3 humans. We don't want anyone getting their mitts on our intelligence. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So if you hold out your hand in a fist formation and I do this, Kibbles has splayed his claws out as if he's going to scratch me, but pushes his metacarpal pad onto my knuckles. It feels really strange. That's great, Kibs. Really unique. Yeah, so anyway, I got a lot of stuff to be getting on with. Important business stuff. I'll have to catch you later, human. I feel a bit taken aback by his sudden change in mood. Okay, Kibbles. I'll get on with this manga then and we can discuss it soon. Yeah, sure. See ya. I sit down on the tree stump to get stuck into my new comic when I hear, "Fill your hands, you son of a gun!" I look up to see Kibbles has crept around the far side of the trees to ambush me. I spring into action, falling to my knees behind my tree stump. You wouldn't shoot an unarmed cowboy, would you? You yellow-belled snake? He momentarily lowers his paws. What? I seize my opportunity. Pew pew, gotcha. I shoot my finger guns at him. Nuh-uh, I dodged. Kibbles jumps into a roll and shoots his paw guns at me. No, you got me. I can't believe this is how it all ends. Grab my chest and stagger onto the floor, doing a very good performance, if I say so myself. That's what you get when you mess with the sass slinger. I dart my head up. The what? Oh, nothing. What did you just call yourself? I didn't say anything. The sass slinger? No, I don't know what you're talking about. You're boring me, human. I'm going now. No, I mean, that's really cool. I want a name too. Kibbles looks surprised. I get off the floor and just dust myself down. How about the sass slinger and his sidekick, Banter Bomb? The Banter Bomb? Yeah! That's really embarrassing. Okay, well, I'll think about it and get back to you, Kibbles. This has been so fun. See you later, Bants. He blows the imaginary gun smoke from each of his little paws and swaggers off into his bush. I feel childishly happy. Kibbles is a combination of a child or a retard, so it actually feels really wrong to ever date Kibbles. Just saying. We're doing it anyway. Because I mean, look at how happy it looks. Look at that happy face. Happy face. Very happy face. I had a busy morning today, so I'm rewarding myself with a longer lunch break. I used the extra time to return to what has become my favorite reading spot in the forest to finish Sakaru. Kibbles was right. It's fantastic. I'm enjoying it so much more than expected to. I'm not usually a fan of manga that is excessively bloody. My tastes tend to be more benign. This was an exception. The gore was so relevant to the individual characters and the overarching story that it felt entirely justified. I read the final page, closed the issue, and exhaled loudly. What an ending! I can hardly believe that the main character has died. It's too sad and yet completely authentic. I can't see how anybody could have escaped a situation like that. My thoughts are interrupted by the sound of rustling nearby. I open my eyes. Hey, Kibbles. Kibbles tumbles out of the bushes again. He's holding an adorable little satchel which is shaped like a penguin. Hello, Felix. Have you read Sakura then? Yes, I just finished it now. It was so disturbing, but in the best possible way. Yeah, the body horror bits are epic. You want it back? I hand Kibbles the comic book. He examines it closely, clearly looking for any signs of damage or wear. After a while, he seems satisfied. He opens the satchel and carefully places it inside. At the same time, he takes out 3 more comics and presents them to me. You should try these now. They're on another level. If you want to be taken seriously, you got to read them. Struggle to understand who I should be trying to get to take me seriously. I give up. Okay, great. What do you have for me? First, this is Hokorashi. It's about a kid who finds a puppet that lets him control his parrots. Then this one is called A Hungry Sparrow. The artwork is sick. There's this character called the Icebreaker. He's a huge polar bear. And this last one is Kuchi-o Tsubomi. It's practically my favorite. Oh wow, Kuchi-o Tsubomi. You heard of it? I've read it. It's awesome, isn't it? Well, I actually couldn't stomach it, but I don't know how well Kibbles will take that. No point in pretending. To be honest, it was a bit much for me. Kibbles suddenly looks very serious. He reminds me of my lectures in uni when I answered a question wrong, but they didn't want to come right out and say it was wrong. In what way much? I think it's a bit relentless, the gore. It's not relentless, it's integral. Really? I felt the scene where Koida eats the slug was just gratuitous. Totally the wrong place for something so gut-churning. What? Koida never eats a slug? You must be thinking of something else. No, it's right after Miharu hands her the fruit basket. She opens up a banana and the slug is inside. I remember the fruit basket but no slug. He pulls the comic out from its protective sleeve and starts looking through the pages. Here's the fruit basket and then it goes straight onto the train scene. No slug, see? Oh, I see the problem is, this is the shorter version. The slug scene must be in the extended edition. Extended version? Yes, I've got it back at the camp. I can lend it to you if you like. Swapsies! Kibbles looks upset for a moment but quickly composes himself. Oh, well, I've heard the extended version is way too long. That's probably why you didn't enjoy it. The pacing is much better on the standard edition. You're probably right. You have better knowledge than me on this stuff. He looks super happy and prances around me for a few seconds, catching imaginary insects. Okay, Kibbles, can I still borrow Hungry Sparrow and Hokorashi? He pulls himself together. Oh, so you haven't read those? Not yet. I've heard Hungry Sparrow is excellent. I'll say nothing until you've read them. We can compare notes then. Kibbles hands me the comics and packs Kuchi-o Tsubomi away. Thanks, Kibbles. I'll bring them back as soon as I finished reading them. See that you do. Kibbles disappears backwards into the bushes once again, never breaking eye contact. Maybe he lives in that bush. Perhaps it's like the TARDIS. Hope that I'm heading the right way with Kibbles. Honestly, sometimes the answers are really hard to judge, but it's the fluffy butt that's absolutely hardest to date. It's been a few days since Kibbles lent me his comics. Although I devoured them on the first night, I've been so busy with work that I haven't had time to return them yet. I'm dying to talk to him about them, so today I've cleared the decks enough to spend a couple of hours with him. I'm waiting in our usual spot when a nearby bush begins to rustle. Hi, Kibbles, you there? No answer. I brought your comics back. Still nothing? I know he's there. He must be playing a game, so I decided to play along. Oh, what a shame Kibbles isn't here. I so wanted to ask him about Hungry Sparrow. He's so clever. He would know why Nyoko broke the mirror at the end. Kibbles falls out of the bushes. Obviously, she's just clumsy. Really? I figured it was a metaphor for her fractured self-image. A metaphor? Yes, because her heart was broken when Ryoji fell in battle. Oh, of course, that goes without saying, but I just feel like the interpretation is kind of tired. Really? What would your interpretation be then? I think it might be too complex for you. Let's talk about something else. Alright, what did you want to talk about? I'm starving. There's no proper food around here. I eyed the plump British shorthair skeptically. Well, I got a tin of tuna back at base camp if you want it. I could easily... No, that's not proper food. Gross. I'm talking about proper food. Chocolate, crisps, pizza. Have you got any of those? No, Kibbles, I don't. But you know where to get them. What are you implying, Kibbles? I can't just walk into the mess tent and steal armfuls of food in the middle of the day. Exactly. Meet me outside the mess tent tonight at sundown. Bring a backpack and a torch. Oh, Kibbles, I don't like the sound of this. If you don't help me, I'll just have to do it myself. I shudder at the thought of Kibbles being let loose in the mess tent without supervision. Well, okay, Kibbles. I'll meet you, but only if you promise to be super stealthy. My stealth abilities are second to none. I'm a black belt in Kakate. I really hope so, Kibs, because we're going to have to be super ninjas tonight. Dank. I've come to the mess tent a little before sundown, hoping to apprehend Kibbles in the case he tries to stealthily barge in without me. Finally stop him stalking in the distance, using his tail to brush away any paw prints he's leaving behind. He's taking this so seriously. My heart sinks as I realize how disappointed he'll be when I explain that we can't actually rob the mess tent of all of its treats. Hey, Kibs. Senpai! Senpai? I have to restrain myself from doing an air grab. I just wanted to say it's an honor to raid alongside you tonight. Yes, well, about that, Kibbles. I promise I won't let you down. Oh no, why is he being so nice? Well, actually, I don't think this is such a good idea after all. What? What are you talking about? Well, I was thinking that maybe it would be a step too far to raid the mess tent for spoils. Are you joking? You changed your mind? Do you think I'm not up to the task? Is that it? You look so hurt. I feel really crummy. It's not you, Kibbles. I would gladly heat up pizza and make a salad to go with it, but I don't think it's a good idea to take any more than that. Kibbles looks at me with disbelief. Did you just say the word salad? I did. I'm sorry, but this is a really bad idea, Kibbles. Not only could it get me fired, but you could get sick if you ate lots of sugar and flour, and I don't want to be responsible for that. It seems I was wrong about you. I thought you were heroic. I thought you were cool. This really strikes a nerve. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know whether to listen to my head or my heart. I actually don't know if we're on 2 stars or 1 star with Kibbles. And between 2 and 3, when I was playing the game, there's no difference. But between 1 and 2, there's a huge difference. So the ending will now be a complete shocker to me because I'm going to deliberately lose a star here by making Kibs eat healthy because I don't want a sick cat. I must stick to my guns on the response on 1 here. Actually, I think taking care of yourself is cool. How uncool would it be if we had pimples and rotten teeth? It looks like he's actually waiting no up. Oh, come on, this can still be fun. I think there might even be some Dizzy Fizzy in the fridge. Small glass won't hurt. Dizzy Fizzy? Not even the real thing? This night has failed. He's collapsed to the ground in a mock faint and is now rolling around in the dirt. Stop whining and get up. You need to keep a lookout while I make the pizzas. He leaps up, looking decidedly brighter at the prospect of some action. I'm on it! Give me the 411. Well, Zane is doing rounds on the other side of the island, which gives us about 15 minutes. Let the countdown commence. But you have to keep your voice down too. The marigolds are cleaning in that tent just over there. So stop talking. 14 minutes and 42 seconds. accidentally snuck into the kitchen area, which is hardly a mission as the whole thing is open plan. I grab a pizza from the freezer and put it in the microwave to cook. Fridge is unlocked as usual, so I take some lettuce and tomatoes. It's not exactly premium standard security in this place. Doesn't need to be. We're on an island. We all get fed. Who would want to steal food? Duh. Well, yeah, but this is different. Actually, I'm allowed to eat whatever I want, so it's more like a game. Kibbles' face changes. I realize I said the wrong thing and try to distract him. Hey, could you do me a favor, Kibs? Should be some salad dressing in the big supply cabinet in the corner. Can you find it for me, please? Tries to nuzzle the door open, but it's locked. Hang on. I get the keys from the usual place, unhook next to the sink, and unlock the cabinet. How come this one's locked? It's where we keep all the goodies. We only get a treat delivery once a month, so we're a bit more protective of it. Finish making our supper and packed everything away. I lock the store cabinet and return keys to the hook. Come on then, let's stealth our way out of here and to our Hearthstone home. You mean walk over to your tent? Yes. We're sitting on my bed, finishing the last of the pizza. Take the cling film off the salad bowl. Cannot believe you won't eat any of this delicious salad. Can't I tempt you with one mouthful? Ugh! To be fair, he's a cat. Cats do not eat salad. Do you have the salad dressing? What? The bottle of dressing you put in your rucksack. No. I go to unzip his penguin bag, but he pounces on it. It's not there. Don't go in there. Kibbles, what on earth? Then I realize. Give me the bag, Kibbles. Fight me for it. Kakate. He struck a very peculiar pose, which leaves the little rucksack unattended for a second. Thank you. Take the bag and tip it out to the bed. Oh, Kibbles! There is half the treat ration for the whole camp and a mount between us. What? There's even more than I thought. You can't keep it. You know that, don't you? But before I even register what's happening, Kibbles has grabbed a bag of marshmallows firmly in his mouth and disappeared out of my tent into the night. There's no point chasing after him. He'll be hidden in a bush before I can catch up to him. Gather up the goodies to take back to the mess tent. Kibbles is right. This night has been a fail. Can't make friends with salad. Well, you can if your friend isn't Kibbles. We had a lovely nap. No nightmares about pirates or anything. So amazing. I haven't seen Kibbles since our pizza party the other night. I want to make sure he didn't overdo it when he left my tent. I approach a clearing near the bushes he likes to hide in. Kibs, are you there? No answer. Kibbles! The bush sneezes. I know you're in there, Kibbles. You just sneezed. Still no answer. Kibbles, if you don't come out here, I'm coming to get you. Kibbles lazily rolls out of the bushes. Oh, hi, Felix. I didn't hear you coming. Kibbles, are you avoiding me? No, I've just been really busy. Pull a sticky sweet wrapper out of his long fur. Yeah, I can see that. Thought you might be laying low after your stunt the other night. No, I always do stuff like that. You always raid the mess tent? Just, you know, have adventures. Stunts like that are pretty run-of-the-mill for me. Okay. Anyway, what happened to you? I thought you were behind me. I was gonna share the loot with you, but you bailed. Bit of a lightweight. You took the loot from my tent. It's okay. Not many can keep up with me. Don't be down on yourself. I decide it's probably best to park it there. So what's been keeping you away? I've been working on my project. Project? What's that? Just my latest comic. Comic? You made one? Yeah, I've been working on it for ages. I'm the first person I've told about it. Well, I'm honored. Tell me more. What is it about it? Can I see it? It's about a lot of stuff. You can have it, actually. Really? Kibbles hands me a sack of papers covered with crude markings held together with tape and staples. Oh, it's nice. It's just the first draft. There'd be worth loads to the right collector. Yeah, the artwork is quite avant-garde. I was worried that being a cat could limit my artistic ability, but obviously I'm a savant. Oh yeah, for sure, and well, it has unique smell, doesn't it? Yeah, it's hard to get pens and paints out there. I have to get pretty creative. Something tells me I'd rather not know how much his creative techniques actually what they mean. I think he paints with poop. Thank you for this, Kibbles. I'll read it as soon as I get back to the base. Yeah, well, it's pretty complex. You might not get everything on your first read, though. I look at the scratchings, paw prints, splatters that make up the pages of this rare first edition. No doubt. Maybe once I've read it, we can go through it together. Yeah, okay. You'll probably need my help. Right, I'll go make a start then. Thanks again, Kibbles. That's really sweet. Let's go and do Recon 14 because it normally ties in with the romance. I'm laying in my tent looking at the comment Kibbles made. Comic. Not the comment. Yeah, Kibbles made me a single comment. It's a really heartwarming thing. He put a lot of work into it. As I'm looking, I notice something behind some of the colors. Looks like Kibbles might have painted over something he found. I can't just about make out a signature in the lower right corner. The more I squint, the more I believe it's Professor Papu's. I wonder what this used to be. I suppose it would be possible to clean off the paint and see what's underneath, but I can't bring myself to do that. Maybe there'll be something at the lab that I could use without destroying the artwork? I arrive at the lab just after dark when I'm guaranteed to have the place to myself. There's a portable X-ray machine in the back. We use it to examine the bones of the cats after changing their diet. It has a light box attached to it so that we can see the X-rays properly. I think this piece of equipment that I'm hoping will reveal the secrets under Kibbles' work of art. I lay out the comic on top of the light box. I can see the image quite clearly under the paint. It's a letter. Dear Jonathan, firstly, I would like to wish yourself and Martha a very happy new year. I understand your concerns. The recent closure of our account at your cat farm may indeed negatively impact your business. I can assure you that this decision was not taken lightly. I would like you to take the time to personally thank you and your family for your help in providing us with cats over the years. From your last letter, it's clear that you don't fully understand our reasoning. The traditional methods of farming cats have, as you pointed out, been perfectly acceptable for many years. However, recent advances in technology that our team have employed mean that we're able to produce cats on a far greater scale and much more quickly than using the traditional methods. Our offshore facility can produce 100 cats in the time it takes you to rear 10. I would, however, like to repeat our offer of a job in the offshore nursery. Your family has been an asset to the company for many years, and we would like to show our great loyalty and appreciation. Please do consider this offer seriously. Warm wishes and seasoned greetings from Professor Popper and team. An offshore cat breeding facility? We have an island overrun with cats right here. Why would we need... Before I can even form the question in my mind, I know what the answer is. The island is the offshore facility. Professor Popper was obviously keeping it under the wraps. I look back at Kibbles' sweet picture and wonder how on earth he had this letter in his possession. Slowly another thought begins to force its way into my consciousnness. What if Jonathan and Martha accepted the offer that was made to them and come to work on the island? What if they brought their young son with them? Could this be Kibbles' parents? I decide to respect Kibbles' privacy and keep this information to myself. He may not remember any of this and I don't want to distress him. Kibbles is a kid. Most likely. And either parents turned him into a cat or he probably got bitten by the elders, so... yeah... I'm sitting outside my tent, trying my best to make sense of Kibbles' comic. I'm desperately hoping for something, anything that I understand enough to talk to him about. It's no use. Just as I'm giving up, I see Kibbles approaching from the forest. Kibbles, what are you doing here? Figured you have finished my comic by now and you'll be ready to go through it with me? Oh yeah, sure, it was complicated like you said. I knew you wouldn't get it. Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't really understand very much at all. Let's start at the beginning then, shall we? Kibbles sits down next to me and flips the comic open on the first page. It's semi-autobiographical, my memoirs if you will, from what I can remember anyway. This page is about my parents. Kibbles points to a pair of red paw prints. This is my earliest memory, my mom and dad sitting together while I played in the garden. Turns the page. This one just has one red paw on it. Money was tight, so mom worked a lot overtime. It was just me and dad most of the time. Next bit is about when I started high school. Page is chaotic, bright smudges and scratches cover every inch. I didn't really fit in at high school. Kibbles sketches the page with big black scratch from top to bottom. This is the day where Troy started pushing me around. Look at this bit. Thick black substance covers the paper. I'm worried about what it might be. It might signify. This is my happiest memory, sitting alone by myself in my room reading comics. Kibbles flips to a more colorful page. This is when Dad started taking me to the comic store after school. It was like a whole new world for me. Lost interest in the commercial stuff. Started to feel lamestream to me. Discovered manga and it was much more on my level. Kibbles turns page after page explaining the significance of the manga he read and how they shaped him and helped him escape from his problems. Kibbles, I think this is great the way you're opening up to me. It's a real privilege. Suppose. Thought about it lots and wondered if I should ask what? Were you originally human? I mean, were you catified? Huh? He lowered the comic and is looking at me with the expression of incredulity. Can't believe you just asked me that. I'm sorry, you don't have to answer. Are you actually joking? This whole comic is about my transition and stuff. What were you reading? If I wasn't originally human, how would I have a manga collection that would make any otaku proud? How would I be able to read even? Ah, yes, of course I knew. It just meant I was asking more about how it happened. How, when, where, that stuff. Fixes his eyes back on the page. Can't tell you. Too soon? Well, obviously not. We're looking at my entire existence here. Feel a bit foolish? I just can't remember. Only bits. But it keeps getting less, like it's fading in the sun. Feel his frustration and direct us back to the safety of our reading. It's okay. This is great. It documents everything. Finally, he turns to the last spread. This one I've been avoiding as the pages were stuck together. Prise them apart carefully as to not to tear anything. It's a type of collage. He used bits of chewed up plants to stick down various objects. Among the colorful markets, there's a panel from my copy of Kanashi Boy, some sweet wrappers, and the center, the unremarkable pebble, the one that Kibbles claimed he was looking for the first night we met in the clearing. It has blue and green paw print on it. Kibbles, this is beautiful. This page is about you. Me? Yeah, well, us. Us? What about us? You and me, our story. You wrote a story about us? No, the story that we are, that is, I want... Ah! Take your time, Kibbles. Count to 10. Use your words. Not a kid. Don't patronize me. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I was trying to help. It's just confusing. I don't know what to say, because I don't know how I feel. About what? About this! Kibbles angrily jabs the comic with his claw until it hooks into the paper and he can't unstick himself. Do you need help, or I really don't want to be patronizing? Kibbles finally tears his paw free and looks me directly in the eye and blurts out one word. Love. I'm not sure I even fully heard him correctly, but I'm frightened to ask him to repeat himself, so I take a punt. Love? Maybe. Kibbles, I may be a very clever scientist, but I can't read minds. You're going to have to tell me exactly what you're trying to say. Maybe I might have love feelings possibly for you, I think. Oh! Let's be nice to poor little Kibbles. Well, that's good. It is? Yes! Because maybe I might have love feelings possibly for you, I think, too. You might? I do? Yes, so do I. Definitely, I think. Kibbles looks like he doesn't quite know what to do next, so I bend down and we share an affectionate nuzzle. Purrs loudly, and then he bites my arm and runs away. Oi, where do you think you're going? And I chase him through the forest. Duh. Now the real question is, will I get myself shot by getting myself fired?